Yo, what is good everybody? It's your boy the Strongest Wizard, and tonight is indeed Fight Night, and we have another OP06 match here for you guys. We got my man Endeavor on the right hand side rocking out that Reiju, as well as Financialism here on the left with that classic Sakazuki. And Endeavor's going to start us off here with that OP06 event card, search top 5 for a Vince Smoke card, and going ahead and grabbing that, of course, at Niji. And now we see the brand new coming down, searching top 3 for a Navy card, and really debating here which one he wants to grab. I definitely think the call is, of course, that classic Great Eruption, that classic band card. We're gonna go ahead and cycle here, pitching Hina to draw a card, and now Endeavor seeing it at his 3 Dawn turn 2, we are gonna see the classic stage. That stage is absolutely insane. Pitching the Niji, grabbing the Yonji, and then it looks like we're gonna go ahead and probably tap 1 here for an event card once again. Yes, top 5 once more. Pretty much really literally anything you need, having access to the top, like I think in the past 2, this turn and last turn, I think like 16 cards. Grabbing that 7 cost EGG and then swinging 6k into life. This is an easy 2k counter, and it looks like Financialism will probably just pitch the Virgo, but no, he ends up taking here, dropping down to 3 life already. And yeah, and I mean, I guess he didn't want to let go of the Virgo, so I guess understandably so, wanted to keep that in his hand. But we do see a 5k swing going into life. He ends up pitching and countering out of that with that 4 cost Reiju, using ability here to cycle the brand new out of hand to draw 1 card. And now we see the classic, I keep saying classic in this video, the classic Borsellino here at the 4 cost, 6k blocker. Really good card. Against EGG, it's pretty trash though. We are going to use the stage ability here to pitch that 7 cost to grab himself a Reiju, the baby version. And it looks like with 5 active Dawn, he might just swing 6k, or I mean, he's got a lot of plays actually, Endeavor in his hand. He's got Niji to bounce the character, but no, we see the pudding coming down, and I think he had like 8 cards in hand, so putting his whole hand back to his deck and drawing 5 is pretty insane. And now we see a 6k into life, and this is of course a 2k counter. And what I really love about putting in this matchup is that with the entire time that Sakazuki's playing, he's constantly filtering his deck, making it like maximizing his actual hand. And when you throw that pudding out, even if it's the same 5 into 5, it's still really good. Yeah, really solid against Sakazuki. Very big threat. But now we see himself getting that 1 cost Shigi down and searching top 5 for a Navy card, grabbing a 2k counter in the form of Suru. And now with 5 active done, we might see a Sabo coming down, but no, we are going to cycle real quick here, pitching the 2k counter to Shigi, a card you don't really see too often out in OP06, but we are going to go ahead and counter out of that with 1k, which is going to be that Yonji, swinging 5k into life, very aggressive here. And now we see the German 66 event card in live, being able to draw a card, which is that trigger ability. Now here we are going to see the 1 cost coming down here, minusing 2 costs. That's a 2 cost pudding currently now. And now we see the Rob Lucci just to get rid of it, and then bottom decking 3 cards and passing the turn. Now you really don't see that happen too often. He did end up pitching, essentially dropping a 2k counter in hand just to get rid of that character. And with the very big annoying thing about this deck playing against Reiju is that they just constantly bring back all the cards. And now we see the 4 cost Reiju coming into play, drawing 3 cards, 2 off character, 1 off of leader. And now we see the pitch, of course, with that stage, pitching another 4 cost. And you don't really need your top end in your hand, you just need the baby versions. And we are going to grab the 4 cost EGG, which is that lower cost version like I keep mentioning. And now we probably will see a 6k swing, possibly going into life, possibly going into that Borsellino, because we do have that 4 cost. But it looks like we might end up playing the HEG first, just so that we can neg 2k off of that Borsellino. And yes, I think that is the play here. We're going to go to play the EGG, minusing 1 down, bringing it out, minusing 2k to that brand new, swinging 6 into 4 and then 7k into life. He ends up taking it, no trigger, and we're gonna go ahead and pass the turn. Now Financialism really needs to kind of get something going here. Even though he has a pretty big board presence, they're all pretty small characters. I mean, you know, obviously brand new is a threat on the board, he is an attacker, but now with his hand being reset off putting, he really needs to kind of figure something out. He has an Ice Age, he has a Hound Blaze, I believe, as well as a Great Eruption, so he definitely has some plays. It's just figuring out exactly how you want to put it together. We are going to see a 5k swing going to life. We're going to minus 1 cost off the HEG. We're going to go ahead and counter out of it with the 1k, and let's see here if how we're exactly going to get rid of this board. We do see a 7k swing most likely going into life. I don't see him really going 7 into 7. Now, it looks like he's going to go ahead and take it. We don't see a trigger. This deck doesn't have any really real triggers at all, other than, of course, that maybe like Miss Double Finger or that event card. But we do see the Rebecca coming down. We're going to go ahead and replace the 1 cost for the Hina, minusing 3 costs, Hound Blazing it away, and then swinging 7k into life. And we are going to go ahead and give him a 2k as well as a 1k. This is definitely a lot of pressure here coming from Financialism. But with Endeavor, with his stacked hand, being able to draw so many cards a turn, we are going to go ahead and use Stage Ability to grab that Judge. Now, Judge is actually pretty insane card. I think, honestly, Judge is pretty, in my personal opinion, I don't like really Judge in most matchups, but in this matchup, it's really, really good. But we are going to see that 2 cost Reiju coming down, cheating out the 4 cost, but minusing 1. We're going to draw 3 cards, 2 off character, 1 off leader. We're going to swing 7k into that Hina. Now, we do still have the Rebecca on play, so we might end up seeing that, we might not. And it looks like, no, we just end up swinging 8k into that Rob Lucci. And I think this is an easy block off the Rebecca. And yes, we are going to pass the turn. Now, my man Endeavor got like seven cards in hand to Financialism's like 4 cards in hand, which is pretty nuts. Him taking a bit of a time here to figure out his play, but we are going to start things off with that 1 cost Tashigi. Of course, trying to find that Navy card. We have Eruptions, we have Hound Blazes, and yeah, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a Hound Blaze. Why not? And with a ton of Dawn, I think he's almost at 10, if not already at 10. We are going to go ahead and see that Gecko Moria, and he's at 9 Dawn actually. So this Gecko Moria is either going to be a defensive one or an aggressive one, and I think the position that he's in, I don't think he has time to become an aggressive one, so it's definitely going to be a defensive Gecko Moria. We're going to place the Tashigi as well as both Tashigis here for the Rebecca, as well as the brand new ability here, grabbing himself a Navy card, pitching a Gecko Moria as well as a Rob Lucci. And with this Rebecca play, we're going to actually replace the brand new with a Hina swinging 5k into 5. This is a very easy 1k counter, but no, we do end up letting it go. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking you could have easily 1k counter that. Why didn't you? Well, there's actually a pretty good reason why Endeavor did end up letting it go. It is the only one now in trash, which he does need. And now we see a 7k swing going to life. We're going to go ahead and counter out of it with 3k counter. And it looks like Financialism is pretty much done with his turn. He does end up getting the cycle, tossing that Tashigi and passing turn. Now, the main reason why we did end up letting that Reiju go is because my man Endeavor is most likely going to throw out that Judge this turn. Judge is pretty much, it's pretty insane. But first things off, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some more pieces that we might need. And yes, the Judge comes out. We minus 1 Dawn, we trash 2 cards from my hand, and we're actually able to essentially play out all of the smaller cost Vinsmoke characters in our trash. So we have Ichiji, Niji, as well as Reiju, and now we get to use all of their abilities when we want. So we're gonna go ahead and use Reiju's ability here to minus 1 Dawn to draw 2 cards, and using Niji's ability here, JK, Ichiji's ability here to grab out the Ichiji to minus 2k off of that Rob Lucci. And now we see the Ichiji ability here. We're going to bounce, I think, the Rob Lucci. It's either Rob Lucci or Hina, or even the blocker, but no, of course, we're going to hit that Rob Lucci. And now we see a 5k swing going into 3k. And of course, that's the 3k because of that Ichiji's ability. And Financialism knows that he can't let that thing go. I mean, he has to let it go is what I mean. 3k body, there's no way it survives. So yes, a 5k swing, an easy 5k swing going into life. That's a 2k counter. Now we see a 7k swing, and Financialism does end up taking it. Now, this is really, really rough. My man Endeavor has a fully stacked board off of a Dawn. He literally brought out three characters with one character. But now we see the Great Eruption here, minusing 2 cost, trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do. My man taking a bit of time to try to figure out how to get himself out of this hole, just because he does have one card in life here. So we do end up minusing 2 costs off of that 4 cost Reiju, and it looks like we are going to possibly swing 5k into the 4 cost. Yes, 5k into the 4 cost, and I'm not sure exactly if he has targeted the -1 cost. I don't think so just yet. And yes, he's actually going to hit the judge. That is a 7 cost judge at the moment. We're going to easy 1k counter out of that attack there. We want to keep our characters nice and healthy so that the following turn we can possibly go for game. Now this Ice Age is going to go ahead and make this judge a 2 cost. Now we see the Houndblaze to bottom deck the 8 cost, aka 2 cost judge, and that's pretty insane. I think Financialism here is trying to figure out where exactly the 3k is going to go. There are a ton of options and possibilities, and Endeavor still has quite a few cards in his hand. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and bottom deck that character. We're going to go ahead and pump the brand new, and now we're swinging 9 into 7. Now this is 2 cards out of his hand, and yes, we see the Kai as well as another 1k to get out of the attack. And now for the most part, that HG is probably going to survive, and really, I'm not sure if Financialism has that many plays, but we do see the second Houndblaze to bottom deck the other Reiju, and now with, I think, 3 Dawn up, this might be a 9k brand new if he does end up attaching 3, and it looks like he's gonna go ahead and do that play. So yes, 9k into 7k, and finally the HG does go down. Now with only 1 blocker, a 6k and a 5k, it's looking pretty bad for Financialism here. And of course we did forget our Dawn. We always want to make sure we get our Dawn here. Using stage ability to grab that Neji ability here to minusing 1 to bounce the Rebecca back to his hand. And now with so many with now a 6k and a 5k body, it's pretty simple here. We swing 7k into life. This is 2 cards out of hand. We swing 7k into life. Does he have the counter? 3 cards out of his hand. Yes, he does. And we're going to swing 5 into the brand new. And this is the nail on the coffin, essentially, for this match. 2 5-cost bodies as well as the 5k. Financialism cannot go for game with 2 characters on the board. Now he has to, with 1 character on the board. Now he has to play super defensive here and see if he can survive another turn as well as clear the entire board. So now this is a 10k swing going into 6. It does go down, and we are swinging 9k into 5. It goes down as well as through a Borsalino, and my man Financialism is pretty much throwing in the towel. You see the cards. We're going to go ahead and use Neji ability here to bounce once again the 4 costs, and yes, Endeavor does end up taking it here. Thank you guys so much for checking out this channel as well as this video. I really do appreciate it, and stay tuned because I have a ton of new OP06 content coming out soon. See ya!